In just over 2 months, 24 of the best nations from all over the world will be battling it out right here in Copenhagen, waving their flag and fighting for an astonishing $400,000. Well, it promises to be amazing, we know that, and today we'll be finding out what teams will be going up against each other in the 4 different groups. Hello and welcome along to the FIFAe Nations Cup draw. Well, some great moments of some of the teams qualifying there. How are you doing? We've got my guest here and analyst for today's draw, Mr. August Agger Rosenmeyer. How are you doing?
Great, super excited to take part and really excited to see how this draw will be turning out. I mean, quality nations across the entire world. So yeah, really excited.
You must be looking forward to it. It's on your home turf as well, home ground, gardens, basically in your garden, isn't it?
Basically, I mean, it's probably the biggest moment in Danish FIFA history. So we're really looking forward to host this and welcome the best nations in the world.
Yes, of course. And you've been part of the FIFA scene for so many years now, won World Cup yourself. So you probably know more than anyone else. How much does it mean to these players then?
It means everything. Just the national feeling of representing your country, the expectations, the pressure, the good pressure. The chance to become a world champion with your country is something unique, and I think they'll be super motivated, all the players. And
what do you think the players will actually be looking forward to most?
Definitely playing in the venue. I mean, we had a tough year, so the chance to be able to play live and potentially with a crowd for some of the nations is a big motivation, and just the World Cup itself, it's the biggest you can get as a FIFA player.
Of course. And nations from all across the globe have tried to qualify throughout the last months, so let's take a look on how they got on just here.
Where nations from all around the world lay all on the line to compete in the FIFAe Nations Cup. The FIFAe Nations series is split into 5 different zones: South America, North and Central America, Asia and Oceania, Middle East and Africa, and Europe. To make it to the FIFAe Nations Cup, the nations must battle it out in their zone's online qualifiers. Online qualifiers begin with a group stage that leads into a knockout stage. Each nation chooses 2 players to represent their country in 1v1 games. One game is played on PS4 and the other is played on Xbox. Each zone has a dedicated number of available spots at the final. Only the best teams secure the dedicated spots and join the host nation Denmark at the FIFAe Nations Cup. On August 20th to 22nd, 24 of the best nations will come together in Copenhagen to compete for national pride. Nations will choose a total of 3 players to represent their country on the hunt for ultimate glory. Which nation has what it takes to bring home the FIFAe Nations Cup 2021 title this year? Follow all the action on FIFA.gg.
Now, who has what it takes to bring it home? I'm joined by 2 guests who certainly think they'll bring it home. We're joined by 2 of you from the country of Denmark. We are here today. National coach Dennis Nordenborg and FIFA superstar Mark Husso. How are you guys, firstly?
Well, we're great. Very good. I'm great. How are you?
We're fine.
You're suited and booted, may I add. You're here ready. You're dressed for the occasion, aren't you?
Yeah, we're ready to represent Denmark in Copenhagen as well. It's going to be very interesting.
Yes, and how much does it mean to be, you know, flying the flag for Denmark and playing for your country and representing them?
It's amazing. It's my 2nd time now for the Nations, and it's a big honor to represent your country, and especially in Denmark this time. It's my 1st time in my career that I play in Denmark in an international tournament, so I'm very happy and proud to represent Denmark.
course. And how much are you looking forward to and working together so closely?
Well, it's the same. It's a very big experience to play on home ground here in Copenhagen. In 19 we were in England, but to play in Denmark, that's amazing.
And you played in the FIFAe tournament back in 2019. What made that so special?
Well, it was the first E Nations. It's always special to play the first E Nations. We went out in the semi-final to Argentina, but it was a big honor as well to represent Denmark on a big stage and to be one of the 2 players that represented our country. It's very special. We have a lot of great players, also Agi as well. We have a lot of great players in Denmark, so to be chosen to be one of the 2 players, it's amazing back then.
Very modest, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I really take it as a compliment, but he said it the perfect way. I mean, it's a big honor, and I was lucky enough to take part in England and be there for the team with these guys. So obviously wishing Denmark all the best, but got to stay neutral as well.
Of course. And guys, how do you deal with the pressure on the big stage as well?
Well, I've played a lot of tournaments now, but I think it's going to be different in this time in front of hopefully a big crowd as well. Hopefully, but I've played a lot of tournaments now. The pressure, yeah, I've tried a lot.
Of course, and of course you're the national coach for Denmark. And besides Mark Uzzo, you've obviously selected the players, Faith Uston as well, who also participated last time, I believe. What are your expectations for the tournament?
It's hard to say what we're going to do, but of course we have the expectations to go through the groups and then take it from one game each after that. But of course the name of the players who represent Denmark is very big, so there will be some big expectations for the Danish team.
Of course. And what are your thoughts on obviously choosing the team? Obviously it's 2 versus 2, so tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we have had a lot of training sessions during this year, so of course the combinations of experience and of course the skill level of the players has been the way I have been looked at it.
And do you feel as well there's a bit of an advantage playing on home soil?
Yeah, you can say that, and then the other way, because the expectations is so big for the Danish players to play good in Copenhagen. So it's a little bit of disadvantage also because people will look at the Danish team and hope for them to go far. Of course, with a lot of Danish crowd to watch them.
And not long to the draw. Is there any teams that you'd not like to see in your group?
Tough
question, this.
I think we can beat anyone.
Okay, confident, I like it.
But if I had to choose one team, I would prefer not to play against Sweden, I think. There's in seed 2. I think they're a very good team and have also a very big chance to win the whole thing, I think. But if we play at our best, I think we're going to win the whole thing.
Of course, and as well, it's fair to mention that we are monitoring the health situation constantly and are hoping that we can all come together in August here in Copenhagen and welcome every team, restrictions, of course, in place. So obviously Denmark is the qualified host nation. Yes, I'm outnumbered here as the English. We've talked to some of the other qualified nations as well around the world, so let's take a look at what they had to say.
No, la verdad que representar a la selección argentina es una oportunidad única. Por suerte se me dio para este torneo y espero poder representarlo de la mejor manera en Copenhague.
Lo que espero de jugar en Copenhague es jugar contra las mejores selecciones del mundo y espero ver a viejos amigos que no he podido ver por la pandemia.
Acerca de los equipos, la verdad que a mí me da exactamente igual. Yo creo que si querés ganar tenés que ganarle al que sea, si tenés que enfrentarte a los mejores rápido, después o en cualquier momento, a mí me da igual, tenés que ganarle como sea y no, a mí me da igual contra los que me enfrento. Siempre tengo que ganarles y ese es mi único objetivo.
Hay 2 equipos que quiero enfrentar, que son Inglaterra y Brasil, porque los jugadores me parecen muy buenos, los admiro mucho y sé que van a ser buenos partidos con ellos.
Sí, hay algunos equipos con el que me quiero enfrentar, a lo mejor Argentina, Inglaterra, porque la verdad son muy buenos. Y quisiera medir el nivel de México para saber cuál nivel es el que tenemos.
La mayor fortaleza de este equipo yo creo que es la unión que tenemos y sumado a que como este año el formato es 2 versus 2, nosotros tenemos mucha experiencia en el modo Clubes Pro y entonces sabemos cómo afianzarnos. Ya de por sí en la primera E Nations con Yago lo habíamos hecho muy bien en el 2 contra 2, era uno de nuestros fuertes. Y yo creo que ahora con Mati y Valen vamos a estar muy bien y es para mí la fortaleza más clave de todo el torneo.
Nag, I don't know how good at languages you were at school, but they seem very excited, don't they?
Definitely, I'm not the best at Spanish, but I could hear the excitement, and I know a lot of these guys. It means a lot to them. So it's great to hear from them that some of the countries that never been in Denmark, Argentine, for example, they'll be here, and we'll have the biggest stars here in Copenhagen as well.
Yes, and I know that you've chosen 3 contenders who you think is going to take the title. Tell me who your favourites are.
Well, I have to go with Argentina as one of my big favorites, just because you have the likes of Nicolas, who is for me the virtual Lionel Messi, and they're really, really strong. They had a great season as well, and they're really good at this format, the 2 versus 2. So I'm really backing these guys. I think they could win the entire thing, but we have so many good teams. So I also have Sweden.
Okay.
As we also heard Marcuso speak about, it's not a team you want to face. They have a very special bond. The format is super important. It's different. You need to have a good connection with your partner, your teammate. You need to have the same understanding of the game and the vision. And I think Sweden, with Olli Bolli and Olli, to have two players who are very good friends as well. And I think they'll play a big part in this competition. And then obviously we have the third one.
Drum roll.
And it's for you as well. It's England.
Oh, it's got to be England.
It's 2 superstars with Tex and Tom, been dominating the scene for a long time now, and it would be foolish not to mention them as one of the heavy favorites. I mean, their result speaks for themselves, and they're world-class players, so they could definitely also win. But there's a lot of great teams. You have Denmark on home ground. You have Germany as well, which have one of the biggest widths, best squads. So there's a lot of good nations, but these 3 nations are my picks.
You mentioned Tex and Tom, and they were partnered together back in 2019 as well, weren't they? So what makes you think they'll do so great this time round?
I think it's their bond first and foremost, as I spoke about before. It's super important to be aligned in how you want to play, who is doing the press, who is perhaps dropping back a bit, the communication. And they have a similar game style for me as well. They're super balanced. They can play defensive, they can play offensive. They know the skill moves, they know the keys. I really think that will be the key, and that's why I picked these 3 countries, because the 2 potential main players who will be playing is players who understand each other and who have a great bond, and I think that will be decisive in the end.
Okay, and you didn't actually mention France there. They won back in 2019. How do you fancy their chances?
They're still good, obviously, but it's a different team now. It's not the same players who won back in 2019, and it's a different format, and you have to take that into consideration. But they will definitely have the confidence. I mean, reigning champions of the first ever FIFAe Nations Cup. So they will have a chance just like any other nation. But I just feel like as the season has progressed, that there are some other nations that took my attention a little bit more.
Okay.
But great team as well.
Well, remember, you can see all the 24 squads and get all the information about FIFAe on FIFA.gg. Well, we can't hold on for too much longer. It's almost draw time. But first, let's take a quick look at how the draw is explained.
This is the FIFAe Nations Cup 2021 draw system explained. The 24 qualified countries are divided into 6 pots based on their seedings. From each draw pot, countries will be drawn one at a time, evenly across the 4 groups, until each group contains 6 countries. After the draw, all nations will know which group they will start in at the FIFAe Nations Cup 2021.
Now, a warm welcome to you, Pelle Peter Jansel. How are you doing?
So good. I'm really looking forward to this for so long. It's like a dream come true to be the guy who actually picks the teams from a ball.
Well, you get to do that, and you'll also be hosting in Copenhagen in August as well. So how much are you looking forward to that?
So much, because I've been craving events like this where you can actually feel the intensity. I've been watching a lot of Twitch during the last couple of months during Corona, and to come out and be a part of this very special event, that's huge for me.
And you're a big FIFA fan yourself?
Totally. I'm not the best gamer, but I watch a lot of gaming. So to be there in person and be a part of the atmosphere, that's a dream come true.
Of course. So let's take a look at the 24 teams that are in these 6 bowls in front of us and will fight for the trophy in August. So you're going to have a little style to pick out one of the balls. There's obviously 3 involved in there. As you can see, the 24 qualified countries are divided into the 6 pots based on not only the regions they've qualified from, but also their seedings to make sure all groups will be a mix of regions and levels. You can see on the screen there, from these pots, the 24 countries will be divided into 4 groups that will compete in Copenhagen in August. The 4 best teams from each group advances to the round of 16. So, Bella, I think we should start with pot 1. There are just 3 balls in pot 1, of course, because that our country host is Denmark.
Yeah.
Will be the first team in Group A, as we already know. So, when you're ready,
I
let's
am.
find out which group England, Germany and Finland will end up in. Please begin.
The first team is Germany.
Germany, here we go. Group B for Germany.
Next team,
The next team for Group C. Who will it be?
Finland.
Finland. So Group C, we have Finland there. And now, 1 ball left.
Yeah, what could it be?
B.
But I have to open it.
Very composed style there you got.
Da-da-da-da. England.
England. So in Group A, we have Denmark. Group B, Germany. Group C, Finland. And Group D, England. Okay.
I'll continue.
Right, let's get on to pot 2. Nice little swell round there. It's the first one. This one consists of Portugal, Sweden, Netherlands and Israel. So the first one, who have we got?
The Netherlands.
The Netherlands. Group A. Okay, for Group B. That was a quick one, that was.
I felt it. Israel.
Israel. Group B, Israel. Okay, now for Group C, the third ball here.
We have Portugal.
So Group C, we have Portugal. And last but not least, Group D. Who have we got?
Our dear friends from Sweden.
From Sweden. Okay, good. We've got that underway. Now we're going to go on to pot 3. Okay.
The first team is Italy.
Oh, okay, we've got Italy, and also with them we've got Belgium, France and Romania, may I add. So Group A, we have Italy. Who are we going for in Group B?
Belgium.
Belgium. Big team, Belgium, in Group B. Okay, we're on to Group C now, the third ball.
And here we have Romania.
Romania, okay. And that leaves Group D.
To France.
For France, the defending champions. Group D, looking quite hard at the minute. What are your thoughts on that?
Potentially looking like the group of death, not gonna lie. I mean, England, Sweden and France, you have the 2 of the heavy favorites and you have the reigning champions, so that's going to be some quality FIFA for sure.
Almost your favourites you mentioned there, minus France.
Yeah, I mean, France is reigning champion, so obviously you gotta give them a call as well in this competition, but with Sweden and England as well, you really have some of the best countries in the world in one group now, so yeah, really excited to see who's joining them in Group D.
Of course, and just to summary, this is all the European teams. What are your thoughts on the group so far, the other groups?
You asking me?
Yeah,
Sorry.
either. What are your thoughts on the other groups so far?
They're also strong, definitely. Interesting to see Group A. You have Denmark and the Netherlands and Italy. It's also proud FIFA countries. You have the Group B as well with Germany, Israel. And obviously you have Belgium. So a lot of interesting matches coming up, and I'm really looking forward to see which countries will join the different groups, because that will play a huge impact on the potential group of death, right?
Okay, brilliant. Well, time to move on to pot 4, so let's mention the teams. The pot 4 consists of Mexico, USA, Saudi Arabia and Qatar. So who are we going for first? A little swell round.
I'll pick this one. And it is Qatar.
So Group A, we have Qatar. You're doing a brilliant job, may I add.
Thanks so much.
You're living your dream there.
Yeah, and I've practiced my whole life, so. We have USA.
USA for Group B. Okay, we've got C.
Here we have Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia in Group C. And whoever ends up in Group D, it's going to definitely be the group of death, surely.
Because it's Mexico.
So, Mexico, we've got a player called Yoxan. Tell me a little bit about him.
He's one of the best players. I had the opportunity to play against him in several competitions, and he's been having a great year. Him and Mexico will obviously be not annoyed about being in the group because they back themselves, but I think that that really adds up to a group of death. I'm looking at Group D, really, and that is really some heavy matches we're going to see.
Yeah, so surely that is, let's just say it, that is the group of death, isn't it?
Definitely.
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
Yeah, you've got your magic hands. Okay,
Yeah.
time to move. Let's see if I can count here. Pot 5. Okay, let's mention the teams that we have. Uruguay, Japan, and the two great rivals, Argentina and Brazil.
And we are starting off with Uruguay.
Uruguay. Okay, Uruguay in Group A. What have we got next? As well in Group B.
We have Argentina.
Argentina. Okay, we'll just pause here. How strong are Argentina then? Because I know you mentioned them a little bit earlier over there, but they're a strong side, right?
Yes, it's for me the biggest favorite just by a slightly margin, just because I know their qualities in this format, and I mean them coming into Group B with Germany as well. I mean, there are so many good teams. Really looking forward to watch Argentina as well.
Easy group for them?
Definitely not. I mean, all of the groups are really hard, and every country have to play their A game if they want to proceed from these groups. But if we would have got Argentina in Group D, it would have been it would have been nuts, really.
Chaos.
But Group B is also a contender now with Argentina and Germany, definitely.
Okay, so let's look at the teams that we've got left there. Japan and Brazil. Which one's it going to be first in Group C?
We have Brazil.
Brazil in Group C.
And what could it be? Of course, Japan.
And Japan in Group D. And I know there's a player as well called Jay. Tell me a little bit about him.
A great player, have been doing very good in his region, and I mean, don't sleep on Japan. They really have some good FIFA traditions, and also had a player called Webb who was at the World Cup not too long time ago. So, I mean, they're one of the dark horses definitely to come out and surprise for a lot of the European nations. Doesn't really know 100% perhaps what's waiting them, and they could come and really shock them. So Japan could be a contender here, but obviously they're in a tough group, and they will be like the underdogs for that group.
Okay, well, we have the final pot here. This is your time to shine.
Yeah.
All right. So in the last pot, we have Indonesia, Malaysia, South Korea, and Singapore. Aga, how much do you know about these teams then?
Quite a lot. I mean, I almost played all of the players who are representing their countries. So what I'm really looking forward to see is how they cooperate together, because it's mainly been 1 versus 1, and this format is amazing. I really love the team spirit factor that comes in, and the communication. So really looking forward to see who has the best team spirit, who's able to communicate in the right way at the right moment. So yeah, just super excited, really.
Okay, Bryn. Okay, let's reveal. Who have we got there?
We have Malaysia.
So we've got Malaysia there. Who have we got next? Third ball. Tough group as well, there.
Definitely. All groups are tough. And we definitely know that Marcuso and Dennis, they're just around the corner here sitting and watching the draw, and been very excited and been praying for potentially, in their opinion, a good group. I think it's a tough group. I think they'll be satisfied with avoiding teams like Argentina, Sweden, etc. I mean, they'll be happy with that.
Okay, next one, who have we got?
We have Indonesia.
Indonesia. Okay, that's in Group B. Okay, the next one, Group C.
Korea Republic.
Okay,
And the very last one.
the very last ball.
My dream ends now. We have Singapore.
Singapore. Okay, in Group D, we've got Singapore. Thank you, Pele, for all your magic hands there.
Thank
You've done
you.
an amazing job. You lived up to
True
your
pleasure.
expectations.
Yeah,
there.
I hope so.
And we look forward to seeing you in August.
Yeah,
Thank
me
you very
too.
much.
Thanks.
Okay, let's get all the 4 groups on the screen to take a look at those once again. Okay, Aga, we're going to talk about some of these groups then in detail, one by one. Okay, let's have a look at that. So Group A, you were saying about Denmark. So how does that line up for the Danish? How does that look?
I think it's definitely not comfortable. All nations are strong, as I mentioned. Netherlands, Denmark's going to be, on the paper, potentially the 2 favorites to proceed from the group stage. But you have countries like Italy, Qatar, Uruguay, and Malaysia. And especially Italy will be wanting that spot that gets you through to the knockout stage. So excited to see, also very excited to see Uruguay, who had a very, very good qualification, really done well. They could potentially be a big surprise at this competition. So great to see a good mix of nations there.
Yeah, let's talk a bit briefly about Group B. What do you think about that one then, that lineup?
I think that's very close to be the group of death. I think there's a lot of competition, obviously, but with Germany, Israel, Belgium, the United States, Argentina, and Indonesia, you have a very open group, in my opinion. Israel, Belgium, and USA will really try to pressure the 2. I think I can allow to say that Germany and Argentina would be the 2 on the paper favorites to proceed, but it's really open because these are proud FIFA countries as well and have many champions and many trophies, the different nations. So a very open group, in my opinion.
Okay, and Group C, would you say that's the weakest group? Is that fair to say that?
It's hard to say. I think they're all pretty similar. You also have Saudi Arabia in Group C, who have a player that everyone who plays FIFA knows, Dosari, and that just makes the group totally open. You have Romania, who have 2 young, very talented players. You have Portugal and Brazil as well, and Finland, who surprised everyone and did brilliant in the qualification. So looking at it, I will say Saudi Arabia and Portugal are my 2 favorites to progress, but again, it's a totally open group.
Yeah, I'm actually half Brazilian as well, you know, so I've got England and Brazil in 2 different groups. It's all right. And on to Group D, that's fair to say that is the group of death, isn't it?
I think it is. Looking at looking at Group D with England and Sweden and France, you also have Mexico with Joxan. You have Japan. You have Singapore. It's so much quality. England and Sweden will be the favorites to proceed from this group, but you have the reigning champions in France. You have Mexico with Joxan. You have Japan. You have Singapore, who will try to make the surprise and shock their opponent. So an open group, but probably the most one-sided group still, because I really see England and Sweden going far in this competition.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you for your insight and analysis there. It's been very interesting. And now I just want to say a quick hello to the national coach of Netherlands. We've got Koen Weiland now, it will be on our screen. So you've obviously seen the draw being announced there. What are your initial thoughts on your group then?
I think our initial thoughts it's that we can complain, really. There's so many strong groups, and of course there's some very strong nations in our group as well, but there's even more very strong countries that we will not meet in the group stage. I think Aga explained very detailed, very much in detail, and of course Denmark, Italy, it's going to be very tough, and the rest of the countries. But I think the first reaction of the boys as well is that we will not complain with this draw.
Okay, and who would you say is your toughest opponent then out of them?
I think nowadays for me it's not really my, how should I say it? It's not really to me to say what's the strongest country. The boys know even better, but I think Denmark is always tough. They have so many strong players. We've seen Italy in the qualification as well. They were struggling at first, but as always, Italy has so many strong players. So it's hard to tell, but I think it's going to be either Denmark or Italy.
Are you just saying Denmark are tough because we're in Denmark?
Of course they're tough. They've always had strong players. Ask Aga.
Another one. What are your expectations for the tournament as a whole?
I think we expect a lot. Of course, the first goal, our first aim was to qualify, and the boys did very well. The qualification process was nearly perfect for us. Then, of course, we met England, and they knocked us out in the qualification, and it hurt us a bit. And of course, we're in Copenhagen in August to take revenge. And I mean, this is the most important tournament. This is what we've been playing for, what the boys have been qualifying for all year, and we're looking forward to it very much.
And lastly, Koen, how much are you looking forward to the FIFAe Nations Cup?
Obviously, very much. I mean, this is the first year that in the Netherlands we've really, put something together with the national federation, and we've really been sitting here in the Netherlands thinking, okay, what can we do to get the best players of the country performing at the highest level at the biggest stage? And we've obviously found the best boys we have, and they will be there with the three of them. And we're just looking forward to it. For them, it's the most important tournament. They haven't been at live events for many months, and to be at a World Cup for their own country is, I mean, it's amazing, and they are all looking forward to it very much. Of course, I am too, but the players even more.
Well, thank you, Koen. We look forward to seeing you in August, so thank you for your insight there. So we've got the Danish guys back on the seats with me today. Firstly, what are your reactions to all of that draw?
It was very exciting to look at, to watch it live. Normally you only see it on television for the World Cups and Euros. So to be a part of it, because you know that it's our group, it's our players, it's our team who's involved. That was very fit.
I'm going to take that as a compliment, Dennis. I was
Yeah.
actually talking about the teams, but
Okay.
I'm going to take that.
The whole thing is great. Okay,
It was my first draw as well. So,
yeah.
but what about the teams?
Of course, we're happy to miss France and Germany, Argentina, all of the teams August already mentioned. But you have to remember, just because you're world-class one-on-one player doesn't mean that you're world-class two versus two players. So this is the mode that we're going to play in 2 versus 2. So you can't really rule any teams out like Malaysia or Japan or the other small nations in FIFA. So it's going to be tough. Whomever you're going to face.
Yeah, we can see the teams on the screen now. Who would you say is your toughest opponent?
In our group, definitely Netherlands.
Okay, why is that?
Because they got good players and they're good FIFA nation.
Okay, and Marcus, do you know any players particularly well from this group?
Well, the Netherlands have Livy de Waard, a very young player. This is his first year as a competitive player, and he have already won a major tournament. So he's a very good player. But as Dennis says, 2 versus 2 is something different of 1 versus 1. But it's going to be very tough.
And you mentioned he's one of the youngest players there. So does experience come into play here then? Because you're saying, you're giving him credit for being so talented. But yeah, surely experience comes into factor too.
Absolutely, and also it's a live event, a LAN event. This season has only been on online, and this is offline, so that's also a difference between. But I'm looking forward to play against the Netherlands.
And Aga, what are your expectations for your fellow countrymen?
They're definitely big. I mean, we're playing on home, and we never know if we get the chance again. So we wanna do our very best and make sure that we will get some good results. Obviously, all of us have a lot of expectations for the Danish team, and I think we will expect them to go through the groups, but obviously it's going to be hard.
Okay, and Marcos, I've got to ask you, how much would you like to lift that trophy on home soil? How much would that mean?
It would mean a lot. A lot. We were very close last time. but I think we both will do everything we can to win the whole thing. It will be a very big moment.
Well, thank you guys. Pleasure to have you here, and we'll see you in August. Thank
We
you
will.
very much. Okay, Aga, let's look at the 4 groups again. Who are the dark horses?
I'd like to say the Netherlands, first and foremost, if you can call them that, because they're up there with some of the favorites. I'd like to mention Saudi Arabia as well. I spoke a little bit about them before, and with the winner mentality MS Tosari have, it's something. He's really a leader for this team, and I think that can make Saudi Arabia go very far. I'm also looking at the likes of Mexico, Portugal. Portugal has a really, really strong team as well. And Mexico with Joxen, as we've been speaking about him, and we're going to speak more about him when we get closer to the E Nations Cup. Brilliant teams, and I think that's the 4 nations that jumps out for me. But there's a lot of nations there I could speak a lot about. You have Romania and Brazil as well, and I could keep going on. But Netherlands, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, definitely some of the countries I think can do something as well.
Well, you mentioned your 3 favourites a little bit earlier on, but which group is the winner in? Come on, we need one.
I'm going to try not to sit on the fence on this one. I think just because England and Sweden are in the same group and the reigning champions in France, I'm going to say the winner will come from Group D. But again, so many quality nations, it's hard to pick just one.
England is coming home, surely. So now that you've seen the groups, how much are you looking forward to this event as a whole?
Well, really, really excited. I mean, it's a lot of emotions that's going to come through me as well, watching it, because it's on home ground. This is what we all have dreaming a bit about since we started our FIFA career. So being able to be a part of it and watch the games and see the intensity, that is really, really big for all of us, but it's really big for me as well. So yeah, super excited.
Aga, thank you very, very much. Also known as August. We'll be seeing you in August, 20th to the 22nd. We've obviously got our 24 countries now, and they'll all be showing us some world-class FIFA. We'll see you then.